less than a month ago. Now looking to win a world championship. Add that to her resume.
Top 2 seeds squaring off for you in this World Lacrosse Women's World Championships. The officials, 3 on the field from Japan. Soshiko Gato, Shihoko Tsuzi, Yuko Okubo. Paul Bibby is the table official, and he hails from England. So this is Pool A play. The United States, winners of the World Championship gold each of the last 3 times this event has been contested. Delayed from 2021 due to the global pandemic. 29 teams have assembled here in Towson. First offensive touch for the Americans. Apuzzo angles in. Reminder, no shot clock. McCool draws a double. Off the flip, good stick check, nice takeaway. Canada defense sturdy the first time around. Wasano overruns that ground ball, and it's picked up by the United States. Unsettled, but no numbers advantage. They'll settle in 6-on-6.
And with just 6, as you mentioned, Joe, defensively, they've got more ground to cover, more space. And with a loaded Team USA team, it makes it even more difficult. Those slides are longer. Doubles have to come from a farther distance.
Charlotte North will play catch with Taylor Cummings. Taylor, the only person to ever win the Tewaaraton Award 3 times. Working on the perimeter, Charlotte North loves to ISO from this wing. Gets to the middle, rolls back and fires. She scores! Hello, Charlotte North.
Seems fitting that Charlotte North scores the first goal for Team USA, doing what she does best, off that elbow. Just works her defender. Just a great fake there, roll dodge, lefty high shot. And she's jumping for joy.
Welcome to the World Championships. Trailblazer. A woman who's taking this sport by storm. And so many of the younger generation, the young girls in the stands, idolize this young lady. And Charlotte North cashes in for Team USA right off the jump before this game is 3 minutes old.
We got to see a little 2-player game there with her and Apuzzo. I expect to see a lot of that for Team USA offensively in this tournament.
Sam Apuzzo, brilliant in her own right at Boston College, and then would go on to be an assistant coach for Charlotte North in Chestnut Hill. USA has had both offensive possessions. We're just getting going in the opening quarter, a little shy of the 3-minute mark. Joe Beninati, Rachel DeCecco with you for this World Championship action on ESPN. On the move, Mastriani fires. That goes high and wide. The net guarded for Canada by Cam Halsall. Scott Teeter said that it was an open competition in goal for Team Canada between Halsall and Cassidy Eckert. North fires. Halsall on her strong side with her first stop of the game. Kay Morissette will play it. Morissette, a first-team All-American during her time at Louisville. United States drops out of that pressure ride. A pass here that's connecting with Doby. Doby goes behind the back beautifully. In tight score! Allie Jimerson.
Well done by Team Canada, moving the ball on the fast break. It was a good risk that Alice Mercer took. She just missed that interception. And then Dana Doby's stick work is unbelievable. You see it coming down here. Pass to Doby, little BTB from her. Just great vision to Allie Jimerson with the finish. A beautiful start for Team Canada.
And back to the draw circle we go. And each of these teams, Rachel, has a number of draw specialists from which to choose.
Yes, absolutely. We talked about Dana Doby at the Open. You see Kay Morissette taking the draw, but Dana Doby has taught generations the draw. And then we've got Apuzzo, you've got Marie McCool, Taylor Cummings, Charlotte North. I mean, USA's got a litany of players that can take the draw.
Canada's head coach Scott Teeter said he leaves it to Morissette and Doby to decide which one is taking the draw when. Cummings, who was brilliant at the draw control in 2017, when this tournament was last contested. She's helped USA take the first 3 possessions off the draw.
And with the lack of a shot clock, that draw becomes even more important. You've got to get possession. Team USA can hold the ball, as long as they'd like.
This will be a grinding tournament. You can play as many as, 8 games in 11 days. Cummings gets to the middle. In tight quarters there, they'll shift gears. Trainer, beautiful move. She scores! Kayla Trainer.
I predicted we'd see some fun goals from Kayla Trainer here in this tournament, and she is off to a great start. Her stick control, her ball control that she has with her stick, she's able to do things with her stick and shots that most people can't do. Just a great switch there, a little face dodge, and she just pings that top left corner.
Kayla Trainer, we look at her bio. Wonderful was she during her time at Syracuse. Now leading that program as the head coach. All Trainer did was set a U.S. record back in 2017 at the World Championships, Rachel. 24 goals, 43 assists.
And in any other year, that 3-time Tewaaraton finalist is probably a 3-time Tewaaraton winner. Unfortunately, she was on the same grad year as Taylor Cummings, who came up with the trophy 3 years in a row.
The coaches for the United States, Jenny Levy, Joe Spallina, all of them, in fact, saying Trainer was so good in camp in October and November in the Texas area.
Yeah, it's scary to hear them say that she's getting better, and she's already incredible. So if you're some of these other nations and you hear Kayla Trainer's playing even better, that is a terrifying thought.
McCool with speed, running away from the ride of Annabelle Child, and away comes the United States, already in front by a 2-1 margin. North and Trainer bookending goals around a strike from Allie Jimerson. Jimerson, who's played in past World Championships with the Haudenosaunee. In fact, when she did that, she played on the same team as her mom. There is another mother-daughter combination in this tournament this season, playing for Sweden among the 29 entries in this 2022 tournament. North slithering inside, fires! That one rattles home! Charlotte North on the board again!
Charlotte North working off that elbow that she loves so much. Instead of the outside shot here, she goes for a crafty underneath job. See that 2-player game with Taylor. Sees the space underneath. Just a nice bouncer there to finish past Halsall.
North just getting the jump there on Shanahan. The help came a little too late for Charlotte North. All she did was set the NCAA record for goals, 358 before it was all said and done during her time at Duke and Boston College.
And that's a challenge when you're playing Team USA. If you send that early slide to Charlotte North, they're going to pass it to maybe Taylor Cummings, Sam Apuzzo, Kylie O'Miller. There isn't really a great decision when you have to send that early slide there.
You mentioned it's odd to see her in anything other than that great 8 of Boston College. She's wearing 10. 8 on the United States belongs to all-world defender Alice Mercer. Doby comes up with a ground ball, possession for Canada in the red, trailing now by 2 as we've crossed the midway mark in the opening quarter. Foul there on the perimeter. Possession stays with Canada. And Annabelle Child, Coach Teeter said she loves to do the dirty work with respect to ground balls. She'll be in the hunt all throughout these festivities tonight. Megan Kinna works the wing. This is Brooklyn Walker-Welch, who as a freshman at North Carolina started every game for U.S. head coach Jenny Levy. Now they're on opposite sides. Sprinting to the outside of that 11-meter fan. In tight, score! Canada staying with U.S. step for step.
Rory Cordingley coming off an incredible season at Maryland, a transfer from Johns Hopkins, Tewaaraton finalist. So shifty with the ball. Great job getting her hands free there. That near pipe, Liz Hogan, that's the second time they've scored on that near pipe. Just got to protect that angle a little bit better.
Cordingley, who was just 15 years old, playing for the U19 in 2015 for Canada. Scott Teeter, the head coach for the Canadians, says this is the young lady that Dana Doby is passing the torch to, right through Erica Evans and on the way to Cordingley, who, as you mentioned, had a fantastic season, a Tewaaraton Award finalist this year at Maryland.
Yeah, and Coach Cheater talked about he's known Rory Cordingley since she was a kid playing in Canada. Her father, NLL coach and player, coming off just an amazing season at Maryland.
The U.S. and Canada both shooting efficiently here to start. Kennedy racing in. North already has 2 on the board. Team USA 5 of 7 shooting. Canada 2 for 2 against Liz Hogan. Back behind the cage, Apuzzo off the question mark. Forced away neatly there by Lydia Sutton, one of the captains for Canada. No shot clock in World Championship play. Underneath, rattling it home again. Charlotte North wasting no time for a first quarter hat trick.
Great awareness by Charlotte North. Her defender went behind with her on the crease. With Charlotte North, it is an interesting choice to do that. She is so quick laterally. She followed her behind on the crease. Charlotte recognized that one quick head fake. All she needs is to step on that crease, and there is nobody that can get there to slide in that amount of time.
North with 3 of the 4 on the board for Team USA, doubling up Canada at the moment. Each team gets 2 timeouts for the entirety of the regulation play. This is 15-minute quarters, running time until the last half minute in quarters 1, 2, and 3. They'll stop time with 2 minutes to go in the 4th.
Yep, they have just 30 seconds from a goal to get back to that draw circle.
Playing 10 on 10, 6 on 6 inside the restraining area. Cummings with another draw on the bounce to McCool. Lightning fast midfielder for the United States, wears 4 in the white.
USA now with the 5-2 advantage on the draw control early in this game.
Apuzzo in the shadows, back behind the cage at the west end of the field. North is open. Shooting space call.
Yes, a shooting space call again. Canada pressuring behind with the speed of this U.S. attack.
During her collegiate career, this was appointment TV to watch Charlotte work. From the fan now, the wind-up familiar. The officials repositioning Canada's D.
This is the hash.
Nice stop there by Halsall. She eats that one up from the severe angle.
That is her hash. That is her moment. A good job by Halsall seeing that all the way in. As you said, plenty of viral moments from Charlotte North at that hash this year.
Halsall, maybe the player with the most personality on this Canadian squad. Strong ride here from the United States. Looking to force the turnover. Canada will stay with it. And on the move, it's Boissonneau as we look back at Halsall in the cage to the left of your screen.
Yeah, we see Charlotte North go high there a lot. She opted to go to the low bouncer. Halsall saw that all the way in.
Canada looking to trim the deficit to 1. Charlotte North, as advertised, already with 3 on the board in this her national team baptism with the United States. Maddie Baxter is 4 on the outside, handing off to Erica Evans, a slick midfielder with a great first step. The Americans dig in defensively in the white jerseys. McCool taking care of Evans. Off the split dodge, it's Cordingley. Chased down and forced away by McCool. Cordingley on the re-dodge, draws the foul.
Now we've got a shooting space call on the other end here against Alice Mercer, who will go behind.
Cordingley on the board already in this game, a scoring dynamo for the Terrapins this season. Hesitates off the hitch, did not pull the trigger, however, and settles into an offensive set, 6 on 6 with Baxter. Good active stick there on the deflected takeaway. Turnover number 3, and now fast break time to Rome. Closing quickly. That pass is deflected, back end to end. Come the Canadians.
Well played defensively there on the 3v2 against Team USA. Cummings maybe just held it 1 second too long, was trying to draw the D. Really nicely played by Canada.
Cummings, terrific two-way midfielder. You'll see her at both ends of the field. Allie Kennedy rockets her way back through midfield and weaves through the Canadian defense. Time is running quickly. We're down inside of 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter of play. World Lacrosse Women's World Championships on ESPN. Kennedy on the move, off the split, gets to the interior, bounce shot is stopped. There is a flag and a foul call.
So we're 0 for 2 on these free position shots now. It is a little bit farther than NCAA. We've got the 8-meter, they're at the 11 here, so we'll see if they continue to struggle with that extra distance to the goal.
Jenny Levy, her head coach, calls Allie Kennedy a pit bull. Drives in here and scores! Kennedy makes no mistake there.
Great positioning at that center hash for Allie Kennedy. What she did really well here, she is a Bulldog, she is quick. She was so quick off that hash. You see her duck her head a little bit. Head low, stick high. Really good deception there by Allie Kennedy.
3 times America East Midfielder of the Year during her days at Stony Brook. Allie Kennedy jogging back into position. 5-2 advantage for the United States late in the opening quarter. Back in 2017, Team USA averaged 17 goals per game. They won by an average of a dozen, Rachel. It was convincing. Doby and Mastriani inside the draw circle. Dana Doby with a quick hands flicks away that ground ball.
Incredible awareness by Dana Doby of where her teammates were on that circle. She knew she couldn't win it cleanly. She did a quick little flip there to give her teammates on the circle a chance.
Dempsey Arsenal with a strong defense near midfield. Time ticking down to 1. At the horn, does it count? North trying for her 4th. The officials are saying it's a good goal. In World Championship lacrosse, Rachel, the ball must be across the goal line before time expires, before that final horn. There's no replay review.
We just had this discussion with the umpires before the game. It is not when the ball is released. It is when it crosses the line. Referees there said it had crossed the line before the buzzer. Goal counts.
American lacrosse fans couldn't wait to see the arrival of this young lady. Charlotte North has not disappointed. 4 goals in the opening quarter. Doby showing off her handiwork, too, in the World Championship tournament. At home, Team USA attempting to do that for the first time, and with Charlotte North, this late quarter explosion counts.
The iconic jump shot from Charlotte North at the buzzer. Pretty decent first start to her international play here. She scored all these goals all from different areas.
Set to begin the second quarter in this World Lacrosse Women's World Championships on ESPN. Joe Beninati and Rachel DeCecco with you. Scoreboard should be 6-2 in favor of the United States. That North goal was her 4th. The other tallies from Trainer and Kennedy for white-clad Team USA. Aurora Cordingley has it for Canada. She was on the scoreboard in the opening frame along with Allie Jimerson. Cordingley hawked there defensively by Emma Trenchard. So allow us to get you up to date on the actual score. The ruling on the field on the North play at the buzzer was that the ball was in after time had expired. So Charlotte's 4th comes down. Goal number 6 for Team USA comes down. It's a 5-2 advantage early in the second frame. Erica Evans working in the first midfield with Nicole Perrone and Maddie Baxter. Evans, who had a team-high 19 goals in the World Championships of 2017. Baxter gets underneath. Liz Hogan waiting there at the end of the line with her first stop of the tournament.
Big first save there by Liz Hogan. Get that confidence build, and then great awareness by Alice Mercer backing up that shot coming up.
And it's Mercer who will stretch her legs, bring it across the restraining line. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Women's World Championship play being played 10-on-10, including the netminders. Arsenault, Kennedy, and Mastriani expected to be Jenny Levy's second midfield for Team USA. The roster size 18 for the women. Mastriani, no running room. Shaping up there defensively, Brenna Shanahan. Great in Canada's training camp. Inside, Halsall with a rejection on Ohlmiller.
Beautiful backdoor cut there by Kylie Ohlmiller. Just needed to take that one extra second, throw a stick fake in. Nice save there by Halsall.
Rachel, both netminders making their presence felt here in the early stages of the second.
Great job there by Liz Hogan protecting that pipe as we talked about.
Hogan and Halsall to start things in the opening 30 minutes. You may see both netminders today. Early, this is the opening game of the tournament. Pool play. United States and Canada joined in Pool A by Australia, England, and Scotland. Cordingley made a nice cut, goes behind the back! A beautiful goal for Aurora Cordingley.
Similarly to what we saw Kylie Ohlmiller do, Aurora Cordingley just caught Emma Trenchard there for a second. Great awareness, backdoor cut, and then with that angle behind the back was the right shot there. Beautiful play by Cordingley, just great lax IQ there, getting that backdoor cut and then seeing that behind the back was the best shot for her to take.
Whenever we spoke with head coach Scott Teeter of Canada, he said Cordingley just has a knack, Rachel, a scoring ability that goes back to her youth lacrosse days. She's very, very familiar and fluid in box lacrosse, the indoor game that's played at such a great pace.
Yeah, she just knows how to put the ball in the net. Similar to Kayla Trainer, she is just a pure scorer, and will find a way to get it done.
Big Ten Attacker of the Year after she moved from Johns Hopkins to Maryland. Johns Hopkins University just a few miles away from where we are at United Stadium in Towson, Maryland. Cummings able to drive in. Cummings off the head fake gets inside the fan. Ohlmiller, who is a triple threat, in the words of offensive coordinator Joe Spallina, the ability to dodge, pass, and shoot. Team USA slowing the pace now, nearly 5 minutes into quarter two. Running time in these frames until the last half minute. Slicing in, quick shot, over the top, score! Marie McCool doesn't need a lot of room to step away from her defender.
Yeah, Marie McCool with a little bit of a head of steam there. Just able to turn on the Jets quickly. Great job cutting underneath, protecting her stick and the ball. Quick release. McCool one of 6 returners to this 2022 World Championship team.
Rachel, she was in school the last time she was named to Team USA, right? Back in 2017, she was one of the youngest players on that gold medal winning side.
Another player who just keeps getting better. People that have watched Marie play, in the Fall Classic and then have been training with USA said Marie McCool is playing the best lacrosse she ever has.
Folks, Friday and Saturday, all the PLL games are on ESPN+. Then Saturday, July 16th, we'll have the 3rd annual PLL All-Star Game. This year from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Coverage begins 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ESPN and ESPN+, with a skills competition 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific on ESPN+. In the PLL, Rachel, Chrome and Whip Snakes off to a sparkling 4-0 start. Nice to see the rookies. Brendan Nickturn, Logan Wisnauskas leading the way.
Some great rookies in the PLL this year. Don't forget Chris Gray from the Atlas. They are fun to watch.
All throughout the ESPN family of networks, tons of lacrosse with this Women's World Championship. Another season, the season 2 of Athletes Unlimited starting in July. PLL action, we've got you covered. Free position shot for the United States, 3 better than Canada. Almost halfway through the second. Bouncers off the post from McCool. One of the high-scoring midfielders, speaking of Athletes Unlimited, in the inaugural season of 2021. Here she is, 4 in the white, teaming up with Kylie Ohlmiller. U.S. 6 for 11 shooting in this opening half. Familiar moves back behind the goal from Kayla Trainer. Gets a step on Boissonneau. Here comes the help from Child. Interior, stuffed out. Cummings, stopped there by Halsall. That's her 4th of the game.
Great pass there by Kayla Trainer. Incredible vision to see Cummings streaking through. Cummings just needs to take that 1 extra second. Throw a fake in there.
Things happening quickly at the offensive end for Team USA. Halsall standing tall, and Canada brings it back across with Megan Kinna, who played collegiately at Northwestern. Began playing this great sport at the age of 4. How young were you when it all began?
7th grade. Those were the days when you picked it up at middle school, and you just there were no club teams. You just played because your middle school friends were playing. And yeah, I was about 12 when I started playing.
Rachel DeCecco, 3 times All-American at Princeton, 2-time national champion, the only defender to win the Tewaaraton. 6:40 remaining in this opening half. Doby off the pump fake, flicks it to the interior. Baxter didn't make the catch. Dowdy was there with her for the United States. They scramble for the ball just outside that goalie circle. Down on the deck, and it is Hogan who comes away with a ground ball. Triggering the fast break. Kennedy on the push. Sidewinder shot, stabbed by Halsall again. There was a whistle prior to that shot. Cam Halsall now staring into the setting sun, but she is seeing the lacrosse ball well. Yeah,
Kay Morissette got caught in shooting space there. She did not like that call, but it was great job, great movement by USA on the fast break, drawing that foul.
United States just 1 for 4 now on free positions as Halsall adds to her save total. Canada in the red, trailing by 3. A little bit more than 5 minutes with which to work in the second. Jimerson turns, finds Doby for the shovel. She scores! Highlight reel stuff from Dana Doby.
Unbelievable shot placement, awareness of where the defense is. Dana Doby. Jimerson with the feed, uses her body, protect a stick, and then just an incredible Twizzler. To have your back to the net, see where your defender is, see where the goalie is, and ping that top corner.
That's insane, Rachel. We watched her during the week of practice, getting set for this opener. Dana, the ball just explodes out of her cross.
The ball is an extension of her cross. She has such incredible stick skills, really high lax IQ. You see here, 2-time Tewaaraton finalist, has been with Jen Adams at Loyola now for over a decade.
3 times All-World for very good reason. Dana Doby brings Canada within 2. We may have to go, all 10 days of this tournament to find a goal better than that. That was spectacular. Canada with possession. 6-on-6. We have not had any cards administered to this point. No team has had to play a player down. No shot clock in the World Championships. Doby hanging out against Mercer. You mentioned Dana works as an associate coach. She shows a little swim move to Alice Mercer with Jen Adams just a few miles from here, right? Her day job is close by. On the interchange, Hogan anticipated that beautifully, and the netminder picked it off.
Nice 2-player game there, a little draw and dump with Jimerson and Doby. Great vision by Hogan to come up with that interception.
Emma Trenchard, the reigning National Defender of the Year, off the National Championship winning UNC Tar Heel squad. Rachel, the Tar Heels have a huge influence on this roster.
They certainly do. Mastriani, McCool, Trenchard, as you said.
Parros.
Hendrick.
And the head coach, who said nobody got preferential treatment.
We asked that question. You know, there are a lot of Tar Heels on this roster, and she said, listen, at the beginning of tryouts, I said there are no free passes.
Arsenal with a great look. Quick stick score. Apuzzo.
Great ball movement there by Team USA. You mentioned the sun a little bit potentially in Halsall's face there. Just great ball movement by the offense here. Working that two-player game. Great cut around and then a little behind the back from Apuzzo.
United States showing off all facets of its offense. Jenny Levy. She said she loves the point guard playmaking abilities of Dempsey Arsenault, and they were on display there as she was able to find Apuzzo for the quick stick over the shoulder that gives Team USA a 7-4 lead. Fans rocking the red, white, and blue here at Unitas Stadium, named after Pro Football Hall of Famer Johnny Unitas, one of the greatest in the NFL, three-time NFL MVP. He had 3 children attend school here at Towson. Team USA showing off for the faithful against Scott Teeter and Team Canada. 7-4 advantage for Team USA. Our next WNBA game is a Saturday matinee on ESPN and the app. Diana Taurasi, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and the Mercury, they'll be in Chicago to take on Candace Parker and the Eastern Conference leading Sky. Coverage begins 1 Eastern, noon Central. Temperatures in the mid to high 80s throughout the day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. We are in Towson, Maryland, just about 15 miles from the inner harbor of Baltimore. Charlotte North, Taylor Cummings putting on a show for Team USA. North had the 3 goals in the opening quarter. 5-2 advantage for the Americans after 15.
One of the things that Coach Levy talked about was chemistry, and you see her trying a few different combinations here. Now we've got North in with Miller. We saw Apuzzo and North in the first half, Trainer and North, Cummings in there in the midfield. So Jenny Levy's getting to test out different combinations on attack, see what works best.
Erica Evans comes up with that one off the draw. Team Canada in red late in this opening half, a little bit more than 2 minutes to go in it. Lizzie Colson, we get her first call of the evening, 25 in the white. Do it all through the midfield area.
Anybody that's listened to me call a game knows how much I love watching Lizzie Colson play. Watch her play this game. She is everywhere. Her energy is infectious. She comes up with impossible ground balls, and she will create turnovers for this Team USA defense.
Her head coach, Jenny Levy, calls her a wrecking ball, and she means that in a good way. Doby sets it to the outside. Shadows lengthening here at Unitas Stadium. 90 seconds to go in the half. Cordingley, who has a pair of tallies, feeds for Doby, off the flip. Cordingley fires, she pumped that one wide. Closest to the ball where and when it leaves the field after a shot, maintains possession for Canada. Perrone forced away, strong stick in the interior there. A collision inside. Foul called. There are blocking calls, there are charging calls in women's lacrosse.
This is a blocking call against Lizzie Colson.
Free position from the 11, fire and score! A wicked shot from Hannah Morris.
2020, Hannah Morris was the ACC leader in free positions, shooting almost 73%. Carrying that success here into the international game. Just a step down and beautiful shot there from Hannah Morris.
Morris, the reserve attacker for Scott Teeter and Gary Gate. Gary, the associate head coach for Team Canada. Legendary in his own playing days. Morris, at one point, Rachel, you mentioned how good she was free position shooting back in 2022, this past collegiate season. 56 goals for the Cardinals. Canada has 4 different goal scorers. Of its 5, they trail by 2. The final half minute of this opening half will be played stop time. You hear the defensive communication field level. McCool with room. A whistle before the shot. No goal.
Speaking of rules that we'd like to see changed, defensive foul, Marie McCool gets a goal. Now disadvantage because of that shooting space call. Really, really tough thing in women's lacrosse. She'll get a second chance here.
McCool steps in and scores! Marie McCool in the United States now 2 for 5 from free position.
Making the most of that second chance. Good job here by Marie McCool. Finding that angle. She's got the righty up outside. Good job there by McCool finishing it with just a few seconds left in this first half.
Few being 8. Marie has her own cheering section in the crowd. Coach Levy checking the time. To the draw circle, Doby and Mastriani. It comes up for Canada with time wasted. Down to 4. As the horn sounds, we played 30 minutes here in Towson, Maryland. Team USA and Team Canada, the top 2 seeds in this tournament. At the halftime break.
Shot clock. Strategy is a little bit different than in NCAA's.
Marie McCool, the last player on the board at the end of the opening half. McCool, a free position goal that gave Team USA an 8-5 advantage. As we just dip a toe now into the third. These World Championships being hosted by USA Lacrosse, Towson University, and nearby Goucher College. Erica Evans is 11 in the red for Team Canada. Deliberate moves from Evans, who has good speed, trying to split 2. Leaves for Baxter. Baxter, who plays collegiately at Syracuse. She's under the direction of present-day Team USA national team performer Kayla Trainer. Baxter steps inside, working away from that 11-meter fan. Perrone off the split. On her way down, she scores! A dazzling goal for Nicole Perrone.
The rising senior out of Louisville. Incredible strength here by Perrone to even get the shot off as she's falling. Protects the stick. Splits that double. Sneaks it by Liz Hogan. Defensively, they've got to close that gap. They both went for the stick. Perrone really just snuck through.
My goodness, we have seen some highlights in the first 33 minutes of play tonight.
You asked me, Joe, at the beginning of this broadcast, what has changed in the women's game, and this skill level and this speed, incredible ability by these women is one of the things that we've been treated to the last few years. It's incredible what the women are able to do with the stick.
Emily Parros comes up with the ground ball, one of the smartest, most clever players you'll see on this USA side. Mercer rampages in. Her pass gets away, backed up by McCool. 6-on-6 at this end of the field with an American player down on the turf in need of assistance. That's Mercer. Nicole Perrone starting the scoring in the second half for Canada. Her dad, Eric, is a Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Famer. Bang, bang play here inside. McCool with a rip. She beats Halsall. McCool with a hat trick.
Similar location of her last goal, Marie McCool, sort of that outside angle there. It's a great job, low corner. Team USA shooting 50% off free positions.
Marie McCool gliding her way to the sideline. She glides all the way around. Team USA, Rachel's made a change in the cage there, sending Kaylee Waters out to tend the twine.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything that Liz Hogan isn't doing, but this is a long tournament. You want Kaylee Waters to have the opportunity to see some shots, and she will get that in the second half.
Inside the draw circle, Mastriani and Doby. Ground ball overrun there by Arsenault. She stays with it, but Doby comes out of the pack. Canada with possession. Annabelle Child will run with it. Strong defensive work.
Absolutely great pursuit there. Good pressure. Frustrated with that foul call, but really, really well done.
Trainer was all over that sideline. The officials awarding the ball to Canada. Lead official, Sochiko Goto, Shihoko Zuzi, Yuko Okubo in the zebra stripes. There's the foul on Trainer and the agonizing look to the sky.
It's a little bit too much contact there. Horizontal stick, extended the arms.
Cordingley's had the ball a lot for Canada. Marked by a fellow Terrapin, former Terrapin, in Meg Dowdy.
I love the way Meg Dowdy plays defense. She is so solid, consistent. Her footwork is incredible. You saw her play calmly there. You won't see her throw a lot of checks. She didn't need to there. Comes up with that turnover against Rory Cordingley.
Head coach Jenny Levy wasted no time saying Dowdy was the strongest player physically on this American side. Team USA has won 22 straight games in World Championship play. 3-time reigning world champs. This tournament on the docket for 2021 was delayed by the global pandemic. It's the largest of its kind. 29 teams here as Halsall fights that one away. Over 550 athletes from 29 different countries. Jenny Levy traveled to the last 2 World Championships as a fan. She was there to support her Tar Heel players.
She flew to the last 2 World Championships with her daughter. Really special, you know, and she said it now as the head coach here, it's sort of a surreal moment. You've thought about it, having watched as a spectator, and now having the opportunity to lead this team and these women. Really, really special.
Apuzzo playing a little 2-person game with North. Get it to Trainer, who is a brilliant distributor. Matched up with Kinna. Trainer, rocker step, she sends it high.
Great rocker dodge by Kayla Trainer. Megan Kinna has her hands full. When Kayla Trainer comes around that crease, so difficult to stop.
Trading her off to Emily Boissonneau. That's a battle of head coaches, isn't it? Boissonneau nowadays running the shop at Pitt.
Such an advantage for these teams. You know, Canada's got Dana Doby, they've got Kay Morissette, they've got Emily Bolsonneau, and then you look at Team USA that's got, you know, Emily Perrone at UNC, Kayla Trainer at Syracuse.
The familiar windup of Charlotte North. Lets it go. She cranked it wide. Sprinting to the end line on the backup. They're going to award the ball to Brooklyn Walker-Welch of Canada. Team USA now 3 for 7 from free position shots. Halsall in the cage. Cam has gone the distance. Cassidy Eckert is her backup. 5 stops for Halsall to this point. Jimerson will drive in. Her sister Jalen is playing with the Haudenosaunee Nationals. Swinging on the outside for Hannah Morris, a very powerful lefty shooter. She demonstrated that back in the second quarter tonight. Kinna takes it for a ride. Exchanging for Walker-Welch. Morris, no room. Good defense from Team USA on the double. No shot clock in these World Championships. We mentioned Athletes Unlimited coming up in July on ESPN. They play to a 60-second shot clock. Ball down, whistle, foul called. Maintain possession for Canada and Allie Jimerson.
Meg Dowdy getting called there on the illegal check. You know, that's not, NCAA has 90, Athletes Unlimited has 60, PLL has 52. The speed of the game is so much better when you've got that shot clock, that pressure. For people to make something happen.
Both coaches were telling us, Rachel, that they expect the shot clock will be around in the next World Championship version on the women's side. Annabelle Child getting set. Scott Teeter, her head coach. Child, who plays collegiately at Harvard. 2023 will be her sophomore year there. Just the second free position for the Canadians. Morris fires, and Waters able to make that save. At the doorstep, though, nice recovery by Child to keep possession for Canada. Cordingley crossing over against Trenchard. Cordingley gets a step, ran into a double team. Morris in tight. She scores! Hannah Morris.
That was great help there by Allie Kennedy, sliding to Cordingley. A good job there by Team Canada, moving that ball. Solid D by Trenchard. Kennedy with the help. Cordingley passes it out, and then Morris taking that on the move was all the difference. Block could not beat her to the spot. Morris had stood and caught that stationary. Block would have had time to recover. She caught that on the move. Beautifully done with the finish.
Fabulous numbers for Hannah this season with Louisville. 10 hat tricks or better in 2022. She has 2 goals tonight as she jogs off to sub out. And Team Canada hanging around, trailing by just 2 against the host Team USA. Canada 0-12 against Team USA since World Championship competition began in 1982. They've been the silver medal winners, each of the last 2 winners falling to Team USA in the gold medal games. Cummings has that one batted away by Doby. Ground ball picked up by McCool. Flying inside that fan, picked up by Boissonneau. The exchange for Charlotte North. Very tight inside the draw circle, 10-9 for Team USA. In terms of possessions, neither team's really able to make it, take it so far. Halsall with a stop on Trainer, and she pins it in that goalie circle. She has 10 seconds to get out of there. Half a dozen stops for Cam. Rachel, how familiar are you with the Hill Academy north of the border? All they do is produce outstanding Division I lacrosse talent.
The Merrill brothers, Patrick Merrill, Brody Merrill, as you said, I'm very familiar on the men's side. We've got a handful of PLL players, and on the women's side, you see creating just as much talent.
Perros inside, score! Emily Perros.
Coach Levy talks about her game smarts. What a difference maker Emily Perros is. You saw her there. Have to avoid that crease, making the most of the goalie positioning. She got way far out. Looked like Perros was going to maybe pass it. Saw Halsall trying to get back in. Took advantage of it. Beat the defender. Great low finish.
After goals, the goal scorer has to drop her cross and have it checked by the officials. Jenny Levy there to the right in the baseball cap. Her first time as a U.S. national team head coach. She was named back in November of 2017. Had to wait a while for these games. Off the break quickly, behind the back. Just bounced wide. Kayla Trainer showing off her handiwork.
You could almost feel everybody holding their breath there for that moment. Kayla Trainer just a little bit wide.
Everybody talks about Charlotte North and her incredible skills. Charlotte will tell you that she was inspired by players like Trainer, Michelle Tumolo, Katrina Dowd. Dowd, who's in this tournament with Ireland. Stuff attempt, score!
Charlotte North got to learn under Kayla Trainer when she was at BC and modeled some of her game after Kayla Trainer. No better teacher than Trainer. Another BC standout, Apuzzo here. The BC to BC connection, Arsenal to Apuzzo. So strong and quick off that crease roll.
Rachel, you're an outstanding defender in your collegiate days. It's so tough on the closeout back behind the goal against Apuzzo. She's so shifty.
I would not play Apuzzo behind. Even in my quickest, best days, that's just a player that you've got to be a little more conservative, particularly with 6 defenders. Those slides are longer. You've got to be a little more conservative with somebody like that behind. But this is pool play. So this is Canada. They said we're going to play them straight up. So maybe we're not seeing potentially the defensive strategy that we may see from Canada later on. They are just playing them man-to-man straight up.
In Pool A, the United States, Canada, Australia, England, who we'll see tomorrow on ESPN+, and Scotland in pool play. Then there will be a round of 16, a quarterfinal round, Semifinals, then bronze medal and gold medal doubleheader when this tournament comes to its end by July 9th. Team USA on top by 4. Dowdy gets those goggles readjusted. All Maryland does is produce National Defenders of the Year, right? Dowdy,
it's one of many
Mercer,
things they do. Yes.
Holton.
Tewaaraton winners, Defenders of the Year. And you see, you mentioned the goggles. It is not required international. You see Canadian players without them. Another difference with NCAA's, Team USA is wearing them. Only some of Team Canada has the eye goggles on.
First 3 quarters of this game played running time until the last half minute. So we have been breezing through these festivities with just over 60 seconds remaining in the third. The fourth quarter will be played stop time in the final 2 minutes. Makulu has a hat trick like North today. Cummings, soon to be heard from offensively. Pass it inside, over the top, score! Charlotte North jumping for joy.
And you could see that play developing. Cummings taking it. Charlotte, as Cummings drew that attention, Charlotte did a great job getting free. And then getting those hands free, that step back. She just needs a little bit of room. Great patience. The crowd goes wild for her. That's one of my favorite things to watch, is these little girls meet Charlotte North, see her play. It is really special to see that connection between the next generation and Charlotte North.
And all those fans in the stands, they know that Team USA is a powder keg offensively. Prone to explode. 3 goals in just over 2 minutes. Stretching this out to a largest lead on the night at 12-7, and Team USA has the ball. Closing in, Cummings works through the double. Little give and go. Cummings shovels that one wide of Halsall. Chased down by Lydia Sutton, one of the captains for Team Canada. Great ground ball from Kayla Trainer. Dying stages of the third. Trainer, bounce shot, just missed.
Kayla Trainer had no business winning that ground ball. She did a great job getting her body and stick in the right spot. Great stick extension, beating Sutton to that ground ball.
As crafty as they come, and taught by the Team Canada associate head coach Gary Gate, who's on the sideline against her tonight. Shovel shot there, good kick out, saved by Hall.
1 goal wiped away.
That's right, the end of the first quarter. Potentially her 4th of the day was overturned. We mentioned Tewaaraton Award. It's the college lacrosse equivalent of college football's Heisman. Taylor Cummings won it 3 times. North has won it the last 2 times out of Boston College. As we begin the 4th, shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. Joe Beninati, Rachel DeCecco with you for World Lacrosse Women's World Championship play. The tournament opener on ESPN, it's been a good one. The United States in the white jerseys on top by 5. Maddie Baxter working up top with Cordingley. They've moved her all around the field tonight, haven't they, Rachel? She gets the jump on Trenchard. Looks inside, score! Beautiful passing play, and the finish for Erica Evans.
You mentioned it. Cordingley at Hopkins and at Maryland was primarily from X, a low angle. She would challenge from there or feed from behind. She's playing up top more tonight, which is great, drawing that attention, drawing the double. Great job by Erica Evans slipping in there. The 6th player from Team Canada to score a goal.
We heard it from Scott Teeter during the week, Rachel. He said they wanted to keep it simple at the outset. This is the tournament opener. Let the players build as the tournament goes along. Let them find their chemistry. Give them ownership of the game. Canada doing a nice job staying at arm's length with a high-powered United States #1 seed.
And a universal challenge we heard from all these Pool A coaches is the lack of international competition with the global pandemic. So these first few games is about chemistry, letting the game come to them, and really getting comfortable with each other. You know, and with some of the rule changes, field of play, all those things.
Accordingly on the feed, Jimerson goes one more! Doby with a slam dunk! It's 12-9.
A little bit of a momentum shift here for Team Canada. You said it, off transition, that one more. Great ball movement from Canada. Accordingly, drawing that double to Jimerson, to Doby with the finish. 2 goals in 55 seconds for Team Canada. Dana
Doby stashing her 2nd on the night. bringing the Canadians within 3. The supporters of the Maple Leaf there in the stands, very pleased to see Dana back at work 3 times in all-world selection. Kennedy comes up with this off the draw circle for Team USA. She fumbled it. 6-on-6 inside the restraining box. No shot clock. There's going to be a card here. A yellow card has been assessed.
Yellow card against Charlotte North.
Folks, Sunday Night Baseball coming up. Cardinals playing their 3rd game of a 7-game road swing against the Phillies. 7 Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage beginning 6 Eastern, 5 Central with baseball tonight, the Sunday Night Countdown. The card assessed, and they are full-time serving 2 minutes.
Yeah, so now defensively, 5 in the defensive zone. So tough for Team USA.
What kind of communication do you expect to hear from the United States when you're playing 1 player down?
I mean, they need to be constantly chattering where they are, who's got ball, where their help is. Look to Kayla Waters to really anchor that communication. She's got the best view of the attack from where she sits.
Jimerson gets a free position shot. Allie was dynamite for Team Canada.
Can we get the card counted on the scorebook?
Quick pass, Doby fires and scores! Doby has the hat trick.
Gonna have a Team USA timeout here. Within 2 now, Canada, all the momentum their way off of the yellow card, player up opportunity. Jenny Levy wants to talk about it. Unselfish play there off the 11 meter, Dana Doby with the finish and that shot placement.
Doby with a lightning bolt from inside that 11-meter fan. Canada, just a blink of the eye ago, was down by 5. They've clawed their way back within 2. The Canadians taking the timeout. You only get 2 timeouts for the span of the 60 minutes of regulation. Should this game require sudden victory overtime, each team would get an additional timeout. And, Rachel, you're 2 from in-game. If you don't use them, they don't carry over.
Use them or lose them. It's not something they carry over. Canada 3 goals in just over 3 minutes.
Back to back to back. Evans, Doby, and Doby again. Dana with a hat trick. Charlotte North has 4 if you're just tuning in with us. Marie McCool of the United States also with a 3 spot on the board, and the United States on top by 2. In pool play back in 2017, the Americans were 5-0. They outscored their opponents, Rachel, 86-21.
Beating Canada in pool play 17-3 in 2017. Canada putting out a much better effort this go-round.
Jenny Levy barking her instructions from the sideline. Assistants Amy Altig, who works with the goalies. Alex Franks, the defensive coordinator. Joe Spallina runs the offensive side. Intensity ratcheting up. You could see it on the face of Marie McCool. Kay Morissette, number 6 in the red. This is her 3rd senior team appearance for Canada.
Got a foul on the draw there, so they get a possession.
Team USA still playing a player short. Remember, that's a full 2-minute serving yellow card. Over the top. Shooting space call gives Perrone the free position.
And that's a consequence of playing short. Those slides are longer. You're more likely to be in shooting space.
Bang, bang play, and Waters fights it off. A key stop for the Americans.
Big save there by Waters. Canada had the opportunity to go within 1.
Kaylee Waters, we see her work to the left side of the screen as Team USA angles back in offensively. Just past the 5-minute mark of the 4th. Time runs until there are 2 minutes left in regulation. Then it's stop time due to the officials' whistles. The Americans are back to full strength after the yellow card.
A lot of time left to play here, Joe, but if Canada was able to tie this game and come away with the win, this would be a huge upset early in this tournament.
Possession for the Canadians in red. Perrone off an outstanding season with Louisville. Her head coach there, the same head coach running the national program for Canada, Scott Teeter. Perrone, who began her lacrosse days at age 4 playing with the baby Blue Knights in Canada. A baby no longer, she and her mates giving the United States all they can handle in this opening game of the Women's World Championships.
Plenty of time here for Team Canada. They want to hold on to this momentum, so they should take their time, wait for the right opportunity. They've been letting this game sort of come to them offensively, and they have found success in this back half of the game. The worst they can do is rush a shot, give USA the opportunity to get a quick goal.
More and more viewers have been watching women's lacrosse on ESPN. We love it. And you recognize a shot clock in the women's game at the Division I level. Not for these World Championships. Foul called. It's a block. They're giving the possession to the United States and Emma Trenchard.
Legal pick there from Dana Dobie. Yeah, she moved on that pick. You can't do that.
Dobie setting that screen and shifting her weight.
Yeah, a little shift there, a little hip dip.
Big offensive sequence here for the United States. They've seen Canada claw their way to within 2.
USA with no shots in this fourth quarter. We saw them come out so hot in that first quarter, scoring goals quickly.
Ohlmiller dancing with it. She'll deliver to Trainer. Occupied by Sutton. Trainer, equally adept right hand and left. Working to her right, she's bumped there and fouled by Lydia Sutton. Lydia, an active high school coach nowadays in the state of Minnesota. Played her college ball at Southern Cal. Trainer on the hop, feeds inside, quick stick, score! Emily Perrone.
Costly foul there for Team Canada. Sutton had to go 4 meters behind. Trainer so quick off the whistle, really essentially put that player down. Perrone, second of the night, just slipped in behind the defender. Great job here, good vision. Looked like she was going to McCool, faked it to Perrone.
Fair to say she's an underrated player, Emily Perrone? I didn't say underappreciated, but underrated.
I think the challenge is when you go through the roster of this Team USA team, she's an incredible player, but you start with North and Cummings and McCool and Mastriani, and Perrone gets kind of lost in that, which truly is, she's an amazing player. So
Morissette won the draw for Canada. She has possession. Just over 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Perrone stemming the tide for Team USA. Canada had the first 3 goals of this final frame. Good defensive there. The stick from Apuzzo in the passing lane. Mastriani keeping tabs on Child.
Big possession here for Canada. As this clock starts to wind down, you got to possess. If USA possesses, we probably see them hold on to it a bit.
Accordingly on the run, hits the post! Whistle comes, there was a flag against the United States. Accordingly rings the iron. Rachel, 6 on 6, there's a lot of room to operate. Hard for defenders to cover ground.
Ton of space for this attack to get going.
Accordingly on the free position, she offers it inside. Jimerson over the top. They're gonna wash it out. She was in the crease. She was in the goalie circle. No goal.
Big call there. Crease violation. Scott Teeter probably wishing we had a challenge flag or instant replay where he could get another look at that. We'll get to see it here.
Was the foot on the line? Was she inside the circle? In the estimation of the officials, yes, they overturned that goal.
Now here's where the shot clock comes into play. You're up 3. 5 minutes left. If they wanted to, they could hold this the rest of the time.
So if you're Canada, when do you step out and put pressure on? If you realize that they're in a install mode.
The challenge is, look at all the space they've got to cover. So if I'm Canada, I'm thinking sometime around that 3 to 4 minute mark. Remember, the clock stops now under 2, so you got a little bit of extra time to work with, but you can't go too soon because look how spread out they are. USA's just going to pick holes in that attack.
Off the split dodge, Cummings bumped by Child. Taylor Cummings scored 9 times in the World Championships of 2017. This will be the 8th free position for Team USA on the night. They've cashed in on 3 of them.
She's got a lot of room on that left side.
Cummings folds it over and hits the crossbar. She changed the angle beautifully on the release and hit the post.
Part of me thought she was going to hold that just because of the time, but she had so much room on that left side. A good scoring opportunity there for Taylor. Second post here. Cummings.
Halsaw looks to clear. Pressure ride coming from the United States. They forced a turnover. Trenchard on the steal. Throughout the week of practice, we watched Team USA implement a 10-man ride where they push the goalkeeper out. They put a ton of pressure on. It forces teams into turnovers.
Perfectly executed there on that 10-man ride, 10-player ride by Team USA.
10 on 10, 6 on 6 inside of the restraining line. Down to 3 minutes to go in the 4th.
Now you need to start to think about pressure now, Joe. This is the last place you want to find yourself in defensively, trying to create a turnover with all this space to cover against some of the best stick handlers in the world.
Trainer against Little B, Bianca Chevry. Ball down, up for Canada, Morissette.
Kayla Trainer didn't need to make that pass into traffic there. Now Canada with an opportunity. They've got to possess, get it carefully through with all this pressure from Team USA.
Child on the run. Her pass falls to the turf. Taken off the carpet by Alice Mercer. Mercer powers her way back into the offensive end. Headman passes on the button. Point blank, 1-on-1. Score! Kayla Trainer.
Poise, patience. Stick work from Kayla Trainer. Alice Mercer in transition. Great speed in transition. Trying to draw that D. Kayla Trainer slips in. Head fake, stick fake. Behind the back fake. And then just great shot placement.
Mercer with the helper there. She didn't have a point back in 2017 when Team USA won gold. Kayla Trainer checking the time on that scoreboard. Trainer had 5 goal games in 2017 against Wales, against England. She had a 12-point game in one salvo against England. Important draw here. Mastriani comes up for the United States. Under 2 minutes, so we'll play stop time now. But United States has time in its favor and a 4-goal cushion. In Pool A play, we'll have Australia and England for you tomorrow on ESPN+. That's an 8 p.m. Eastern time start. Mastriani on the hop, feeds it inside, quick stick score! Window dressing now for the Americans. Dempsey Arsenault on the business end.
Mastriani here with the beautiful assist, drawing that D in. She's got 3 that come to her, and Arsenault slips behind her defender. I love the unselfish play from Team USA that we're seeing tonight.
So do those folks in the stands. Dempsey Arsenault from Ali Mastriani. Arsenault began her lacrosse career as a defender. Obviously gifted with the ability to run and run for days, and she has been a high-scoring threat in college and now for the national team. The Americans have 7 different goal-getters on the sheet. Arsenault comes up with the ground ball. Moore cutting to the cage. Halsall with a denial on North.
You see Kayla Trainer put her arms up and out. This is settled. We don't need any more shots. They need to hold it here. Get it around the horn. Take their time. And it looks like Canada, for now, is just going to sit back here.
Final minute of this one. Canada put up a fuss. They challenged. Brought it back to within 2 in the fourth quarter. But Team USA in white has lengthened its lead. 45 more seconds to protect. Kennedy stripped. Off the ground, it comes up for Perrone. Team Canada performed very well on this one tonight.
Kaylee Waters out of her cage, has to hustle back in, get position.
Fire and score from Baxter as Waters was just getting back after the 10-person ride.
Good awareness there by Canada to really press. Waters was all the way up by the restraining line. Baxter just with a great job. Little stick fake against Becca Block.
Baxter, who will be going into her junior year at Syracuse in 2023, gets a big hug. She and her mates going to fall short against the United States. It's 15-11 with only 24 seconds to play.
With only 18 players on these roster, both of these teams have 7 different goal scorers.
Morissette and Cummings on the draw. Cummings comes up with it for the United States. Trainer feeds for Parros. 10 seconds left. The quick stick score. This game began with a bang, and it's going to close out with more high-scoring pyrotechnics.
Trainer and Apuzzo. You've got Parros with that vision from behind. A little jump shot there by Apuzzo from Parros.
The hat trick for Sam Apuzzo, joining Marie McCool and Charlotte North in that regard. And the United States will stay unbeaten against Team Canada since World Championship competition began in '82. This will be 13 straight for the Stars and Stripes over their neighbors to the north. Morissette with a win of the draw, accordingly doesn't get the handle. Time will expire here, and Team USA begins its defense in the World Championships with a solid victory over Team Canada.
Great start by both of these teams. Canada hung in there with Team USA, got it within 2 goals. I don't know that the parity shows in that final score, but lots to build off for both of these teams as we head into the rest of pool play.
Rachel, add on to that. If you're the United States